What is going on, you beautiful souls that are coming and tuning in and aligning with this truth that I'm going to share with you guys? If you guys are tuning in for the very first time, I am going by the name of my earth parents given to me, which is Andrew Cordero. But if anybody else knows me, there's Divine Drew, there's Angel, there's so many different names. I try not to label myself too much in one box, but we are beautiful beings that are capable of unlimited potential, and we've never been taught this. So today's episode is exactly about that. It's breaking through trauma through optimistic truth and optimistic views. And so we're first off, just let me take a breather on this, because this has been huge portion throughout my life. For those of you that don't know, I am 28 years young on earth. I am definitely an old soul incarnated, and it's quite intense time right now, going through finishing a 10-year period of dark night of the soul, also returning to self, also going through the ascension symptoms while everything's in chaos in the world. And it's been quite a journey. It's definitely been that of a learning experience, everything through everything. And simply, I've chosen to look at my life like this at a very young age, due to the force of nature and the nature that was brought up in my household. It was nature versus nurture. And I spent a lot of my life really discovering and understanding, gaining clarity, working through emotions and deep subconscious traumas. And today's episode is breaking through those traumas and helping you guys, giving you guys something tangible, something that you guys can adapt to your everyday mindset. Because a lot of everything that I'm going to speak has also been practice integrated and walked through the practice of embodiment, through meditations, through experiences and spending time with self. And the words that I'm going to give you is going to help your mindset, versus giving you all the real tools in person, which ideally I would love to do for each and every single person one day, is really help people and guide them through breath work and through meditation, through music. It's a big expression of myself. And so without further ado, let me get back straight on track with breaking through trauma through optimistic truth. Now, what am I talking about? So we got to start from the realization and the truth of who doesn't have trauma. And the fact is, not a single soul on this planet that is incarnated currently at this time, there is not a single person in this world that has not experienced a form of trauma. Regardless of what that trauma may look like, sound like, feel like, be like, we all have experienced it. And I'm going to prove this right now by explaining to you why we cry at birth. When we cry at birth, first, scientifically, it's letting people know, hey, the baby's alive. But we never acknowledge the other side of why that actually happens. So, there's two sides to it. So there's baby's alive, so it's a good sign. And then there's A.1 or A.2, that once the baby is crying, it's experiencing trauma because it's leaving what it recognized as home for 9 months, that provided warmth, food, love, everything that it needed. And it's crying because it just got taken away from that trauma into a new world. That's answer A.2. And then answer A.3 is we're actually crying because that's the evolutional process that we go through from our last life and returning into this life. And I say returning because it was always part of your grander, your higher self perspective, your higher self contract that you've brought into this existence of life. Bear with me if I'm going fast, if I'm kind of going all over the place, because this is a lot to take in, and I've really spent a lot of time at making it simplified and making it easily understood so that everyday people like ourselves that are watching these videos and that are coming across can actually become the highest and fullest versions of ourselves when we allow ourselves to be present and authentic. And this is the true gift of life, and this is why they call it the present. And authenticity is something that's a gift given to all of us, but we're indoctrinated from a very young age, and that's through trauma. So this is where this episode is leading. Trauma is born into this world through fear, through manipulation, through indoctrination, through some sort of reaction physically to the emotional body, to the physical body, to the mental mind, whatever it may be. This is what they don't want people to understand. And even from the get-go, like the way that women give birth laying down is totally makes no sense, because gravity naturally assists anything and everything in birth. Look at animals, they don't give birth on their back. We do this because we tart the image of a woman, and we make it a very traumatic experience for a woman to give birth, and it's became such a normal way of being that, like, our bodies have evolved from this, but also still carries the trauma from all these things. As a mother to the child, the energy is all transferable. It's really a sad story that humanity has been given, and so this is why I'm really just giving out these tools, because I know the fucking truth in what I'm saying. Because being able to gain an optimistic mindset, which is just looking for the greatest of all goods through any situation, is what's going to help you through your trauma, because your trauma are here and is here to teach you a lesson, to teach you something, to teach you to evolve in some form or manner or way. But here in the western part of the world, we move so quickly on a daily basis, even with our phones, with our minds. We have an attention less than a goldfish. Today in 2023, people have less than a attention of a goldfish. We used to joke about that, and then our words became reality, because the reality is majority of people can't obtain focus anymore, because they feel so out of whack with all the different masks that we're putting on ourselves, that we don't remember how to be our authentic selves. We don't remember who our authentic selves are, and it's due to all the blockages, due to all the things we're trying to untangle through our minds, through our hearts, through our relationships, and through ourselves, most importantly. And this is why it's so crucially important that people get with the program of adapting to the evolution of your mind. Because your mind, if you're not learning, you're not earning, and if you're not growing, you're dying. And sometimes we got to die in life in order to be reborn. And so, and part of this whole channel, embracing your darkness and owning it all, it's very much about that, living the darks, because your karmas are teaching you something if you choose to see it that way. And again, these are just my truths and relative perspective explanations, so that you guys can make your relationships to it, because I'm not saying what I'm saying is absolutely 100% correct and it's golden rule, run by it. I feel that way, but I will never push it that way, and I will never push it the opposite way. I always tell people, take things with a grain of salt and make it your own soup, because that's what you're gonna really use and do to empower yourself through all of your life. And this is part of the tool that we need is the empowerment through the realization of what we're taught. And so, how can I give you guys the best example? Here's one. I don't even know if this is gonna make total sense. I'm just trusting everything. If somebody comes at you and says, "Hey, you're in my way," and you take a look around you and you see that you have space everywhere around you, that this person this decides to pass on whatever they're going through on you, and you see this situation and you hear it, and the person repeats himself again, "Hey, you're in my way," and you're feeling out your responses. Part of your mind is going through fear, part of your mind's going through peace, part of your mind's going through uh, stress, anxiety, and part of your mind is trying to figure out what the fuck's actually going on. In this moment, because of somebody's emotional behavior, this could activate or trigger you or that person. And it's not due to a cause of you, it's not due to a cause of them, it's just due to the cause of nature of energies. So you and this person were meant to meet in life somehow, some way, some way. And it's never truly understood in the moments, but it's usually understood afterwards. So in this moment, when you're trying to figure out the fuck's going on, but you're also trying to respond and trying to fucking find peace in all of this, you have to look deep within yourself and take that moment to breathe first, to center yourself and realize that, hey, this guy totally is in his own world. A, because he believes that this is part of his way, and he's totally absolutely correct in one aspect because he's walking that way, but it's not me purposely getting in his way. But how do I adjust this without exploding it? So you after you're thinking, you take that situation and you say, okay, and I know this doesn't necessarily happen in the moment. I can explain it this way because it's happened many different times. Uh, but you take the moment and you break it down. Okay, what's the worst possible thing and what's the best possible thing, and you put the two together and you just wing it from trusting your gut. And at that point, your response comes out to that person, you can look at that person and you say, hey, you know what? Maybe I might be in your way, but maybe I was here to slow you down. What's up, man? Going peacefully, seeing the response. Prior to that, there's many different alternative objectives that you can go at. You can create your own peace. Again, life's about choosing your battles and when to apply yourself into these battles. Because again, everybody's in their own world when they're walking around, and you are quite the same. And it's just comprehension of your world is my world and my world is your world. What I do to you is what I do to myself. So when we add optimistic perspective on everything that we go through, we can grow through what we grow through. And that's the best portion of life, because learning is actually fun, because we have been taught through the indoctrination from birth, and for so many more things that I don't know if I'm going to go into here, but we have been indoctrinated so much that a lot of the things that I'm saying sound all true and valuable, but nobody knows how to apply them. And this is why it's not talked about. And it really should be talked about, because in today's world, a lot of people are suffering through mental challenges. A lot of people are really just keeping above the water, and it's a really sad view sometimes, knowing from where my dark night of the soul came from, trying to take my own life at 18. And that's why it touches me every single time. And I really just cultivate a lot of passion for what I've went through. And I've cultivated such passion that I'm at this point of life where I want to cultivate it in a circle with people and communities, and helping people all over the world by recognizing the truth through optimistic views that is going to help add clarity and an emotional release on your, let's say, your emotional traumas. And the reason why I go like this with traumas, because our traumas are just deep in cycles that we haven't learned from, that is there to teach us something, and it's not easy to deal with until we learn that we've already gone through it. And this is a whole different topic for a different time, but knowing the truth that if you have a rich mindset and an optimistic mindset, a mind that you can see the growth in all things and the beauty in all things, your heart will naturally open. And this will help you with every single trauma that you go through and every single trauma that you may be going through. I'm going to wrap it up here for this episode, because I truly just believe that the work is going to be questioned, and that's exactly where I will spend each and every single day with people who want to understand more, who want to dig deeper into this, who want more clarity, who want more relief. I'm here because we are here. We're here. You and I, the one that's watching this video. Namaste. I appreciate love and light always, and just stay bright. Stay bright through every part of the night. You are a star. Remember who you are, and cultivate who you want to be, and I will understand you and me. Love and light.